Давай, 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 давай. Прям так, на. Где костер, блядь? Все, нормально, братан, все. Нормально? Я не слышу. Брат, я не слышу, у меня контузия. Я понял. Блядь! Уёбай нахуй, блядь! Ехать, блядь! Держи, рюкзак, рюкзак! Быстрее! Быстрее, давай, быстрее, блядь! Быстрее давай, костер! Варик, блядь! Стой! Варик, быстрее, блядь! Быстрее, Тома! Тома, Тома, Тома! Стой! Стой! Тома! Сюда давай, блядь!
Ukraine war. Biden sees real problems for Russia after Kherson retreat order. U.S. President Joe Biden has said Russia's decision to withdraw from the Ukrainian city of Kherson shows its military has and quote, some real problems and quote. Mr. Biden said he had been expecting the move for in quote, some time in quote, and that it would allow both sides to in quote, recalibrate their positions and quote, over the winter. Kherson is the only major Ukrainian city to fall to Russian forces. But earlier on Wednesday, Russia's commander in Ukraine said it was no longer possible to supply the city. Gen. Sergei Surovikin, who was given command just weeks ago, made the announcement accompanied by the military top brass on Russian state TV. He confirmed Russian troops would withdraw entirely from the western bank of the river Dnipro. It is a significant blow to Russia's military ambitions as it faces a Ukrainian counter-offensive. Mr. Biden was speaking from the White House after midterm elections in which his Democratic Party looked likely to lose control of the House of Representatives to the opposition Republican Party. The president's political rivals previously vowed to review U.S. military and humanitarian aid to Ukraine, and Mr. Biden observed that it was end quote, interesting end quote, that Moscow had end quote, waited until after the election end quote, to announce the withdrawal. But he said he hoped the end quote, bipartisan approach of confronting Russia's aggression in Ukraine end quote, would continue. In another development, it has been confirmed that President Putin will not attend next week's G20 gathering of world leaders in Indonesia. He will instead be represented by his foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov. Mr. Putin may still join one of the meetings virtually, officials said. The decision to pull back across the Dnipro was treated with caution by Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv was moving in quote, very carefully in quote, after the announcement. End quote, the enemy does not give us gifts, does not make goodwill gestures, we win it all, end quote, he told Ukrainians in his nightly address. After Russia's announcement, civilians inside Kherson said Chechen troops from the Russian military were in the city, in cafes, and moving around the streets, and at a Ukrainian position on the perimeter around the city, soldiers said. The enemy might be trying to draw them into a trap and were proceeding cautiously. 2px. Presentational Grey Line: A City About to Change Hands? By Paul Adams, BBC International Affairs correspondent. Since October, some Kherson residents loyal to Kyiv have felt change in the air. With Russian-appointed officials starting to evacuate civilians, the city's liberation seemed to be getting closer. One of the most symbolic, and perhaps telling, moments came when a Russian team arrived at the city's 18th-century Cathedral of St. Catherine to remove the bones of Prince Grigory Potemkin, the man responsible for colonizing southern Ukraine on behalf of his lover, Catherine the Great. But there has been a mounting sense of dread too. If Russian forces were compelled to withdraw, what would they do as they left? Rumors are rife that Russia is planning to blow up the nearby Novokakhovka Dam, that Russian troops have donned civilian clothing and are hiding in private homes, or that Russian artillery will simply try to level the city from across the Dnipro after troops finally leave. Whatever happens, this feels like a critical moment. A city seen as a jewel in the crown of Russia's occupation may be about to change hands. Read Paul's full report. 2px presentational Grey Line President Vladimir Putin did not take part in the announcement of the withdrawal, but two of his major allies, previously critical of Russia's war effort, welcomed the move. Yevgeny Prigozhin, founder of the Wagner mercenary group and a longtime Putin associate, said that while the decision was in quote, not a victorious step in quote, it was important in quote, not to agonize, not to get paranoidal, but to draw conclusions and work on mistakes and quote. Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov, who Mr. Putin picked to rule the autonomous republic in 2007, said Gen Surovikin had acted in quote, like a real military general, not afraid of criticism and quote. Although the Ukrainian advance had slowed in recent weeks, Russia's supply lines across the Dnipro had become increasingly difficult after the few bridges across were destroyed by Ukrainian missiles. Before the withdrawal, Russia moved thousands of civilians out of the city by boat, in what Ukraine described as a deportation. We hope the video was useful to you. Like the video and subscribe. We will continue to bring you hot news every day.